Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Wednesday, July 30th, and welcome back to another episode of Style by Stevie. Did y'all miss me? I missed y'all. My knees are a little bit sore. I have been on this health kick, this journey of exercising and trying to get myself back in shape. And my very special guest is here, Fashion Dolls. Joining me from Real Life ATL, we have Jimarko Duhart in the dollhouse with me. Welcome back. I see y'all all are coming in. Did y'all miss me? Because I missed y'all. I missed y'all, Fashion Dolls. And I see my brother, K Tukes. Shout outs to my brother. He's the host of the K Tukes Spot. Make sure you guys please go and check him out. Shout outs to Pure Lux. Shout outs to everybody coming in, Fashion Dolls. Come on in. Share this live with about 20 people. We're going to do something different today. I need y'all to share this live with about 20 of your friends who you think would enjoy the show. We're going to get into the things of the things of the things. Real Life ATL. And a couple of things I want to give my take on that I've seen on the show as well too. So, without further ado, let me add my very special guest, Jimarko Duhart. And I miss y'all too. Mwah. Trying to lose some weight. So, guys, go and check out the OOTV, the outfit of the. Hello, hello.
How you doing, Miss Stevie?
I am doing wonderful, my love. It is such a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. Can you hear me? I just want to make sure. Can you hear me correctly? Are you
I
good?
can hear you perfectly.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Good. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
So before we get into all things real life ATL, because I did watch yesterday's episode
Yes.
3,
Thank you.
how has 2025 been for you so far?
For me, it actually has been really, really good. Outside the show, I became a co-chair of Atlanta Pride. So, our October Pride, I'm the co-chair of it. So, I'm organizing to get everything together. Have a couple meetings tomorrow, trying to get some more, us inclusive people involved and stuff like that. So, I have been extremely busy, especially in June. I've been to every Pride I felt like in Georgia, just giving, going back to the community, giving to the community, talking to people. Some places I've never ever been before, and I see the grassroots of the organization and of us in one way has been really special for me.
Yes, and on the show you opened up about growing up in Jamaica and how, it's not really accepted being in the LGBTQ plus community. We'll dive into that a little bit later.
Yeah,
But congratulations to you, my love. I'm so proud of you because,
thank
like you said, representation is something that we need. And with shows like Real Life ATL, like The Chase in Dallas's, like The Chase
yes.
in Atlanta's, all of these shows, because we see Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, we see
Oh,
Love and Hip Hop Miami. It's
yes.
typical heteronormative television, but we never have anything for us that
Correct,
showcases
correct.
us and our talents. And when we do have them, you have maybe one LGBT person on the show, and I can give you an example. Love
That's true.
Salsa Santana. Salsa Santana is another one that is shattering glass ceilings for us to get into reality TV or do
Yes,
artistry, music, anything.
yes.
But before we get into all of that, because there's so much we got to discuss, tell us a little bit about your backstory because you gave us a little bit on the show about, growing up Jamaican and having different background and heritage and things. So tell us, who is Jimarko Duhart?
Oh, Jimarko, I am a mixed breed. My mom's Alaskan and my dad's Jamaican. I have so many sisters. You know, being from Jamaica, you have a lot of Chinese. I have a sister that's half Jamaican, half Chinese. Then I have my other siblings that are, I won't say whitewashed, but look white, but they have multicultural in one way. I have a stepsister which is Vietnamese, so she taught me how to make Chinese food and Vietnamese food and pad thai and stuff like that. So Jamarco is the cook of the family. I am the emotional one. I'm a crybaby. People don't know that. I may seem all tough, but I'm a crybaby. Lifetime, Golden Girls, it's a wrap for me. I'm a mama's boy. My mom raised me, even my gay mom raised me to be the man that I am. Um, I love hard. And I value my friendship very much. And you're going to see on the show, I definitely value my friendship. Especially with me being co-chair, how people always want to be with the community, but can they ever be an ally? And I want to be an ally. Thanks to Jamie, one of the people on the
Oh
show, and
yeah.
also Misha had a trans day, and it gave me the outlook of saying how if I'm an ally, what can I do for the community? So being co-chair of Pride with those two made me have a stronger connection to the community because I've never ever thought I would be a co-chair of the biggest pride in the world, free pride in the world. So it just makes me open my eyes up and understand everybody needs a little bit of understanding of growth and journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you've mentioned Jamie and Misha. I've had Misha and
Yep.
Country Boy Kiki here on the show as well. And that was one thing she was saying about being able to have allyship within the community. What can you do to help us
Yes.
step in as well? And that is a whole conversation around that. So kudos to you and shout outs to Jamie as well too. I've also had Jamie on the show, but that was
Yeah.
years back, I want to say around the pandemic time because there was so much going on, but this show was still out here being recorded. Episodes were
Yeah.
being so again, the conversation is about allyship and what we can do to bridge
That's
that
correct.
gap. And you are doing that by headlining Pride and
Yes.
also making people see the other side as well too. That's what we have to do to be able to have these meaningful conversations.
Yes. Yes.
There was a part on the show, and you know which part I'm going to say because I've been very political lately. I have been in
I am
political.
too. I am too. So I'm
Yes,
excited.
and
I'm
we
excited.
have to be engaged. We really have to be
Yeah.
engaged, especially in this current climate. But there is one part on the show where you and J. Dot had a conversation, and the conversation was surrounding blackness and
Yes.
who gets to be black. There is as we are speaking right now, having this conversation, there's a whole conversation across the diaspora of who gets to be black. What do they call it? Foundational Black Americans. Is that what they call
Yes.
FBAs? And there's another term for one as well too. I don't have the range to have the conversation, but I say this: if you have been in this country, you know that blacks were the first here. Black Americans, we were the first here. We all collectively have been oppressed in some sort of way. And you cannot erase our existence, which is what we're seeing clearly with this current administration right now.
And that's my thing with Stevie, and I want to break it down because I think how I get so passionate about that in one way because I do have two different sides of my family in one way. So for someone, and I think ignorance is what I can't stand, especially when you're not understanding what the person says. So the beef between me and J Dot has nothing. It has to do with his personality, but it's also his ignorance of it in one way. You have a vice vice president, which is from have two descents. She went to HBCU and she pledged an AKA. How more black do you have to get? Just like when I started first playing tennis, they talked about Serena being as like a dog in one way. And in our reality, Serena dated multiple black men, but all of a sudden, when she got to marry someone that is non-black, now she's whitewashed in one way, and it just irritated me in one way. And the conversation that Kamala was having was, "Oh, my other side's cooked this way. I'm not saying I'm not black, but I do have to respect where my mom came from, and vice versa also too." And I don't think that he realized what he was saying and thinking, but then I had to see there's other people that actually think that way of this person that has multiple degrees. You know, I think just the bandwagon and the hatred, just like for trans rights. I I just watched a documentary about 2 months ago, June 9th, and it was a heightened strength. And I told Misha about it. And it was talking about transgender and how what they'll do is they will make a law by one article. And that one article is not even true. There's no research being done about the transgender rights, the medicine in one way. Now, a month ago, the Supreme Court did grant what Tennessee did. But I don't think people realize the background, the research that needs to go forward because they're not understanding that on the bandwagon thinking that trans are this, trans is that. My mom, I tried to commit suicide multiple times when my dad passed away. But the
Uh-huh.
strength of my real mom and also the strength of my gay mom, Sasha Sanchez, made me stronger. It made me realize that I need to be okay with it, but also have a conversation and why I'm feeling that way. And I really don't feel that America right now is having a conversation to say, why do I feel this way with transgenders? They're do they're not doing nothing to you, but living their life. So to go back why I feel with J Dot and argue with him because I've all every time that we have gave him an open invitation, he digs himself back into a hole by being disrespectful. And to me, when you're disrespectful to my mom, my sister, my man, and my money, I can't, I can't be around you because you're not an ally. What you're doing is smiling in my face, but guess what? You're talking about my back. And that's how I feel. He would say at one point, I'm okay with Misha or another transgender woman, but then he would dig them in the back and call them, you a man, or just being rude and disrespectful. And I don't want my nieces, my nephews to be raised that way or have some type of a person that feels that way to be in my environment. I don't want that bad juju. I don't want that bad juju around me.
Misha alluded that it was someone on the cast when she was here and we had our conversation. We talked about
Mm-hmm.
transphobia and a number of things. And Misha alluded that it was someone on the cast who was disrespecting some of the cast, the trans cast members on the show. And as someone
Mm-hmm.
who is trans, it's like it's a slap in my face because I also had J Dot on my show. And
Yeah.
we had the conversation on bridging the gap and coming together and what we can do collectively to fight this because we shouldn't be fighting each other. The situation with him and the other cast member that happened, we touched on that too. I said it's wrong on both ends because both were
Yeah.
calling each other's names. But
Yeah.
before I get to the transphobia, let's go to the anti-blackness. Same
Yes.
anti-blackness of, oh, she's not black or did she turn black? I have been saying this for the longest. That is the same talking points that they use on Fox
Yes.
News. And if you want
Always.
to know what that is anti-blackness. That is white supremacy
Oh
wrapped
yeah.
up. And it's bad when it's coming from people that look like her, that look like us, that are black. And there is something called the one drop rule. So I wrote
Mm,
out a book today called The Color Complex, the politics of skin color among African Americans. And it talks about colorism, it talks about racism, it goes
correct.
all the way back to how they brought us here in ships as well too. And this is from Kathy Russell. So I suggest everybody stop what you're doing and go look it up. The book
Amazon.
discusses a number of things.
Yeah.
Education is important that we understand this because the same thing that people were doing to Kamala, our people, well, she ain't black. And then you had one of my favorite singers, I'm a big Janet Jackson fan.
Yes.
To have Janet even say, well, I heard she wasn't black. It was a little, it was like,
W-
but
In
see, the
all,
Jacksons have always been out of touch. They don't really get
yes,
involved in anything like that. But Janet, just stick to dancing and singing, girl. Just sticking to looking beautiful and giving us these amazing concerts. And by the way, one of my favorite is the Velvet Rope Tour, if you're
oh,
wondering.
me too.
Yes,
That is
to see J Dot say that on the show, I'm just like, no, you can't do this. We all
yeah,
have to be behind her because she would have did the right thing. She wanted the right thing. But the same thing that we were focusing on, which is her ethnicity, is the
yes,
same thing that he did. Why was everybody critical of her, but not critical of him?
yeah.
It's white supremacy.
It
And we're
and
doing the same
and
white.
and, and, and
Go
Miss
ahead, I'm
Stevie,
sorry.
if we go back, if we go way back in the boats, and you have the understanding, like you said, the charisma, the light skin, dark skin, you'll still be a slave. You know what I'm saying? We just literally got voting rights. You know what I'm saying? We literally just got voting rights that we can basically get taken away because this person in office doesn't want us to have rights. They're doing it here in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it in Tennessee. They're doing it in Texas in one
Yep.
way. And so for a black man like him from Savannah, Georgia, of all places, to say the things that he is saying in one way, it baffles me and it does get me frustrated. And sometimes I can't hold my emotions because I am a shoemaker sometimes. But I try to kumbaya. I try to do my little yoga points. But it's just the stupidity out of his mouth sometimes. And I hate calling him, he's not stupid. I feel like he just miseducated in one way. And I don't know how you, me, Misha, or anybody else can have a conversation without him going back to the same way. So for me, it's just I just don't want to be around him. Not gonna say around him. I just don't want to take the spotlight out of all my other castmates in one way. You know, Jamie has a great story. Misha has a great journey. Still,
Yes.
she's still growing on. Country Boy is a great music artist. Nard
Yes.
is amazing in fashion, and BJ is the Kelly Rowland of our group. Beautiful, nice,
Taiwan.
humble. Yeah, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying. And then you have Taiwan. Me and Taiwan go back and forth as usual, but you have Taiwan, and I did not want it. And as you know, as you're watching the show, it's always something with J Dot, and we're not featuring the other people's stories. I don't want to be a loving hip hop. I don't. I don't want to be a loving hip hop. But to not finish your point, that's what kills me in one way when he says things about a person. Again, I'm gonna go back. Well educated, degree. You know what I'm saying? And then in all reality, she married a Jew. You know what I'm saying? He's Jewish. You know, so it's just I don't know how more she has to go to be better.
You know what it is? It's because she is a woman and because she's
Yeah,
black. It's
and that's what
misogyny.
and that's what pissed me off, especially with even the trans men, but the trans woman, it irritates my soul because as you see, Misha has a great spirit. You know, everybody is going to meet you the way you treat it. In some, I think with the last person on the show that he had a disagreement, that's what they met each other at. You know, he didn't respect her or respect her journey in one way, and I had to step back and realize for myself. Yes, I have a gay mother, a gay family, but do I really understand the struggle? And you're gonna see Misha open up to me, and I did get emotional because I never thought that my mom could go through that, you know. It hurted me because I want to be that protector, that man for her, you know. So I give y'all without trans, we would not have gay pride. Without
Marsha P.
trans,
Johnson,
there we
Truth or
go. Yeah.
Dare. These two women, literally,
Yes.
Baynard Rustin, James
Yes.
Baldwin, they were the true definition of what pride is. We
Yes.
would not
Yes.
be here if it wasn't for the likes of them.
That's true. That's true.
Octavia St. Laurent, if you want to go to the ballroom side.
Yes.
If it wasn't for Octavia, if it wasn't for any of these prominent LGBTQ figures, Audre Lorde is another one. If you go back
Come
in
on
time,
now.
if you're an avid reader like I am, these people broke boundaries so that we could have pride, so that our voices could be heard in these spaces in a time where they are trying to erase us. And we're clearly seeing that right now from this
Yes.
administration. So
Yeah.
it is key and crucial that we do our research.
Yes.
Transphobia is not the way. Trans people are not your enemy. And as you said, going back to Misha, me and Misha had a 2 hour sit down conversation, Jimarko. That was a long interview. It was so damn long, I couldn't even get it uploaded in my camera. It was so long, so I literally had to break it down and just do a short clip. But in that interview, in that conversation, which was one of the most watched here, because I went back and checked the insights, one thing she said: trans women have to resort to X work to survive. It is
They-
about survival. And if someone cracks your tea, if a guy wants to buy you a drink, that was another thing she says. We need more and more of our brothers like you and so many others that are standing up for us, that are protecting us. But the others, they're what is taking for so long for you to come along? We will be the first to bat for you and fight for you. And T.S. Madison said that we
oh
will
yeah.
go windmill. We will bat for you. We will
Yeah.
fight for you. We will call out homophobia and racism for what it is, but return the favor for us as well too, because
Yeah.
we are also endangered. As you're seeing, they're blaming everything on us. In Texas,
Everything.
you
With,
mentioned Texas, they're trying to make it illegal to be trans.
uh,
It's a crime. It's a crime, and that's not right. They're redistricting the seats, drawing up maps to try to eliminate 5 Democratic seats in Texas. I just posted that map.
Yes.
Jimarko
And I'm
just
so
said,
good. We got to go tit for tat. I'm not a great Gavin Newsom fan. He ruffled the feathers in one way. Go tit for tat.
got to.
We can't stay on that same playbook. We're gonna have to reinvent it because they're doing it in Project 25. They
He said
oh,
he
I
was
know what you're
going to
talking
do it.
about.
They
Guess
wouldn't
what?
believe.
75% of Project 25 is being done already. You know what I'm saying? We have to make our own playbook just like they did. I know that people are like, well, we don't want to go, but no, we got to go above them. I got it. We try to be Michelle Obama. When they go low, we go higher. No, no,
It's
no.
not working because if they're going to keep roll over us in our rights, this
Yes,
administration does not care. They just confirmed his personal attorney as the lifetime federal judge. Y'all, do y'all know
I
what that
cannot
means?
believe it.
That man Emil is going to be there a very long time, probably till me, Jimarko, and everybody else is dead and gone off the face of this earth. They said a lifetime appointment. That
Correct,
man is
and he's
going to
trying to
be
get
there a
his
long
lawyer.
time.
You remember his lawyer got? They were saying that he wanted her, but they said she's not qualified. But he's like, I'm going to make sure that she is in there. It's just I don't know how much my. Sometimes I don't want to watch the news anymore because I get so upset by the
The
rulings
same
and
here.
things, and how, Missy, how can we as a community fix it? And
We
sometimes
got to
I
come
just don't
together.
know.
We got to come
Yeah,
together. It's not I must keep saying this, and I've been screaming it to the mountaintops on my colleagues' panel. It is not the trans, it is not the LGBTQ
it's
community
not.
that's robbing you blind. This man just not too long ago took a trip to Scotland and bought a golf course. Let's talk about this $400 million plane that he got from
Planes from,
our
from
country.
that he's gonna
That's
get in the
using
library.
that's gonna cost the average person $1 billion. That's going to cost us our hard-earned tax-paying dollars. So we have to pay attention. They're using trans people, they're using us and the LGBTQ plus community to distract you, to divide
Yes,
and conquer. And that's what
yes,
fascism does. It
yes.
divides and conquers. It's the same thing, very parallel to what Adolf Hitler did in Germany in 1938.
And I watched a movie on that. The laws that basically that he did was the American laws. He said, "How can I discriminate on the Jews? Because remember, they're the same color in all reality." He said, "Well, you know what? They look at America and say, well, by laws, by segregation in one way, and the laws that we did was the blueprint of what Hitler did, and people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying?" They want us to say we want to stop wars. No, you're not stopping wars in our reality because the war is you're dealing with you between us, our rights, the color of our skin, our education, and our reality. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
they
The
dismantled the
school.
Department of Education. Linda
Yeah,
McMahon, who sat up there and couldn't even say AI, she pronounced it A1,
she better go
dismantled the
back to
Department
WWE.
of
She better go back to WWE.
Education. And as far as rules, laws, and regulations,
Yeah,
when he was asked would he uphold the Constitution, he said, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see is always his answer for things. No, it's a yes or no question. You
and
cannot play fair with them.
I watched a clip of Joe. Is it what's the one that was stealing money from New York? The one that got he just got sentenced for stealing money. Swintes.
George
Yeah,
Santos.
so there you go. He was on his podcast with the black girl. And he said, and it was I think last week. He said if Trump shot someone right now on the street, I still will find a way to support him.
They don't care about you, baby. And there are some gays in our community who
It
support
is.
Donald Trump, like Rob Smith online. That's one who's still out here buck dancing and supporting Donald Trump. And I'm like, dude, this man is trying to eradicate our
Yes.
entire community. Did you see where he took the letter B out of the LGBTQ plus community and off of Stonewall took the letter T out? This is to eradicate the whole community. It is the erasure. It is purging. If it is not white, Christian, male, or straight, you're erased. From out of the military, it's been purged. Every branch of government has been purged by Trump loyalty.
Correct. And
People
Miss
don't
Stevie, I'm
think
not saying that I have to agree with everybody politics in one way, but just common decency is thrown out the way, you know. And I think that's with the group that I have, especially with our group, we have decency with each other because sometimes we don't have we have a misunderstanding and we can fly at the mouth at times. But I feel that sometimes when a person does not have decencies in character, I just cannot be around that. And maybe it's a growing
totally.
point, and maybe I need to get myself better equipped with being around people like that. But I try to stay away from people like that because I don't want that in my area or in my presence.
I don't blame you, my love, at all. I'm the same way. We see that they're building a whites only community. I'm like, good
Oh
for you.
yes, oh
Good
yes,
for you. Good for you.
good.
Please stay away. Keep your unseasoned food over there. Your raisins and the potato salad eating asses over there. Please do. Do not come over here. Do not bother us. We got the seasoning. We got the culture. We got everything, baby. Stay over there because that teaches me to stay
Miss
away from
Stevie,
people like
the
you.
most funniest thing you remember it was a woman on I think TikTok and she was talking about, oh, you take my money, you immigrants, da da da, and then she stayed in Texas because at first I saw her interview and she was like, they're taking, come help us, we're just a small town. Da, da, da.
I seen her crying.
She had a hat on, but they did more research and found out this person has been talking about immigrants, talking about just being so disrespectful. But now all of a sudden you want the help, and they don't
But
understand
they're not coming to help you.
immigrants pay majority of the taxes. I think probably 8.9 or 9 billion in taxes, and cannot vote still, but they still paying taxes. And that's why I don't understand where the mis the miseducation is coming from because you have the resources, like you said, the books, the literature in one way, but they do have Twitter now. Like we have Elon Musk that's spewing hatred, especially with white genocide. I never ever saw that in one way. So, um, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It is crazy. But at the same time, with me being co-chair, I do see the difference of why we don't feel included. And what my mission for me being co-chair is to make sure that we feel included. I just don't want to be the black face of co-pride. I want to be a part of everybody's pride. So I'm taking my time. It does get frustrating at times because it comes to a block wall on both sides in one way. So hopefully throughout this year I'll be able to have some type of brick wall down, especially for next year. And again, I have to fight the rights for my trans. I have to. I have to. If anything else, I don't. I have to do that.
And there's my colleague Alvin Tit and Tat, this and that, and I always go on his panel and we have these same discussions as well too, talking about what we can do. Yes, white onlys, militia. Uh,
Yeah.
we're seeing him pardon people.
Yeah.
Pardon people. 1,600 insurrectionists. He's pardoned
Oh,
his
oh,
first
he's
100
so for the
days.
police. He's so for the police, huh? Okay, the people that basically kick the person in the head, tase the person. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you so for the police? I literally saw a bumper, Trump and Vance, and then I'm pro police. And I was like,
They don't care
how?
about law and order or rule of law or the Constitution. They don't
Oh
care
no.
about that.
Oh no, oh no. I saw the Jubilee, and that scared me, especially for those people to be in LA. You know what I'm saying? It's just wow. And when he was talking about the other places that it was way worse than what we saw. He said he really can't talk about it, but a lot of things was like he felt like it was a KK rally. Yeah.
And glad you mentioned that. His father attended a Klans meeting and was a known Klansman. He attended a Klans meeting in 1927. So JD Vance also wrote the foreword for Project 2025, and I think a lot of people need to sound the alarm on that as well too. One of the gentlemen for the Heritage Foundation is running against someone down here in my city of South Carolina, and that
Okay.
is Lynn Graham as a challenger. So we're in deep trouble, and
Yeah.
the only way, Jamarko just said it best, the only way that you can get some normalcy back is if you fight fire with fire. And Cory Booker, you APAC, we seen you take that picture with them when Netanyahu was there, and we talk about the war. He said he could get the war ended in 24 hours. I'm jumping all over the place, but these are all things that he said he would do when he got in office. He's not doing it. But
this.
back to this right here,
Yes.
lobbyists, getting them to fund Republicans.
Yes.
The,
Yes.
the, the stockbrokers, he just passed something saying that, oh, Republicans can do whatever they want to as far as getting involved with stocks. So they don't
Yes.
care about law and order. They care about breaking the law, bending the law to his will. That's what dictators do. It is about loyalty. It is
You
about
know that's
blind
what
loyalty.
Miss Stevie. He said he admires Kim Jong Un and Putin
Putin,
because
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like you admire someone like that. How?
adversaries. Adversaries.
Look,
Putin, Kim Jong un, Viktor Orban, Netanyahu. Putin, why he didn't impose those tariffs on Russia when they got into a trade war? The reason
yes.
why is because he's terrified of Putin. And we've
Yes.
heard stories about people winding up poisoned in freak car accidents or falling out of third story windows
and and
just
and, and
because they dared
I
trust
and
Putin.
also Miss Stevie, you know, China is the main backer for Russia. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh yeah,
supposedly the
Kim Jong
trade
un.
deals that we supposed to do every 99 days that have not got done. That'll be a major hit for us in one way. If they say, well, you know what, you do Russia like that, we're gonna do you like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just we, like you said, we are in a hole with this person, and I got emotions when they talk about I call him Uncle Biden to me because he's my Uncle Biden. They made it seem like this man was supposed to play basketball, football, run track, be in the Olympics. This man was a president, and what he's supposed to do is make common sense of what is going on. This man had a 1.25 GPA. He don't know how to read the Bible. He called it Chronicles Seconds. He hold it backwards. It's just so many things this person.
2 Corinthians.
Yeah, you know, he. It's to a point that what did Biden have to do besides being old? He's going to get old, but his mind wasn't gone. His mind wasn't gone. And I had to tell people, like I said, you have a grandmother or a pop, I call my nana or papa, that has common sense. And you say, well, I sure wish I listened to my nana and papa because they have education. They knew what was going on. And for me, that would piss me off with Uncle Biden. People judged him like he was supposed to play basketball and be in the Olympics. The man getting old, he should. He gonna walk so because he gets old. I play tennis. I'm 41. I'm tired of the tennis. I'm not the 25-year-old that be like, oh, let's keep on playing. I'm like, whew, where's Sonny? Let me serve Hardy off this court. I got a wagon back here, you know. So it pissed me off of how this person now go in randoms and talks and stuff like that, but you don't talk about his randoms and his thought process. He don't make no sense in rallies. He doesn't make sense like conversation. You talk, but we don't understand what you're saying
He'd
because you're just
rather
going to
run on the
tangents.
she also said this. She would rather run on the problem than to fix the problem. And that's what we're seeing with him right now do, which is deflect and say he just did something, a video not too long ago saying the gas is going down. Lies. Things are going
Lies.
back up because of the tariffs that you are imposing. And the gentleman in Canada over there said, okay, you want to play those games? We can gladly cut off your electric supply to Detroit. and other states as well too. You listed two other states that they were going to do it with because of these tariffs. You are getting people into a dangerous, dangerous situation, and we are already here. Fascism is knocking at our doors. Authoritarianism is as well too, and
And the people around him, Miss Stevie, which is crazy because they have the degrees. They're way smarter than him. And for them to, I'll listen to the budget commissioner, and they're telling him that's not how terrorism works. Terrorism don't work that way. But it's, well, they do work that way. In what math does it work that way? You can turn math backwards, flip it side to side, do whatever. It does not work that way. And they just agree.
even with the Fed co-chair Jerome
Ah,
Powell fact checking him to
him
his face.
on live. He looked. He said, "No, wait a minute, no. That was built in. No, no, that's already." He. I can talk about that. I can talk about that man so much, but that cult. I call MAGA a cult. Would
It
this
is.
will
It's a white
will
supremacist extremist
yeah.
cult. They will ride with him till the very end. They don't care how hard the train falls off the cliff. They
Yes,
will
ma'am.
keep going on that train. They don't care. Just like with the Epstein files, they
Yeah.
want that to be released. And the Republicans in Congress and Senate are doing everything possible to protect him and keep this, whatever it is in this file, but pieces by pieces are coming out day by day.
Yep.
Revelation. He's telling on himself. For every Republican, every accusation is a confession.
It
Just
is.
like with the superintendent in Oklahoma, Ryan Walters, who got caught
Mm-hmm.
watching porn on his laptop during a hearing.
Yep.
And now he's trying to stumble. He's stumbling over questions about this. No, you got
Yes.
clocked. You got caught. They will try to spin it. Jimarko, you have to fact check them in real time. And I'm pretty sure
Yes.
you know this. My colleague Alvin can tell you I've been keeping my foot on Donald Trump's neck. And I told Misha this. I'm never taking my size 11 stiletto off of his orange neck. It will
No, you
stay
can't.
there gladly placed and anointed by the Lord. It
You can.
will.
You cannot. And we just we. I don't know. I don't know if we have to dismantle the Democrat Party to get us in there in one way,
We might
but
have
like
to.
I'm in touch soon. You know what I'm saying? We need fresh meat. We need fresh blood.
Something new. I
Yeah,
told my colleague Alvin this. I said the Democratic Party needs a makeover. It
it
needs
does.
a new cut and color. And I think in the New York area, Zohran Mamdani said what everyday people are thinking, and that is we should be taxing the 1%. Because as Donald Trump is president in the White House, he is gaining millions and millions upon millions and
Millions.
billions off of
And
our hard-earned tax-paying dollars. And not only him, but the people in this cabinet like the Elon Musk, all of these people will get
yeah.
their tax breaks, will get their rich. All of these ICE facilities that we're seeing them build, that is also being paid for by our hard-earned tax-paying dollars, which
Or this is
should
the
not be.
Missy.
ICE should be abolished altogether.
This is the funnier part. The Bitcoin, he's making millions and millions with Bitcoins and making the US dollar go down. And people don't realize that. He's making billions of money with the Bitcoin, and our dollar is going down because of that. You know, he wants to make Bitcoin illegal, and guess what's going to happen to the dollar? People forget about that. People forget about the Bitcoin part. You know, just like he had the big. That's why when Snoop Dogg and Nelly did the whole concert, I can't. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. Because you're not helping the fight. You're just pouring gas on the fight. You're not helping the fight.
And I took my sip of water like that because I tore Nelly up for doubling down on it. My colleague
Uh-huh.
Alvin can attest to
Oh
that.
yeah.
Snoop Dogg said nobody's going to perform for y'all's president. Yeah, he's your president, not our president. He represents the 1%, the art of the deal. Six failed businesses.
And they're saying
Six failed businesses.
they saying it out loud. They don't
America is going to
care
be his
about
seven.
us. They care about the white militia. They just care about keeping the white in power, keeping them in power.
White
When we
supremacy,
built when we built this place.
white fear, white supremacy. That we gonna go ahead is when he started his first 100 days. What did he do? He attacked the Smithsonian Museum. African American artifacts were
DEI.
removed out of there,
I don't think
bringing
he
white
understand
and
what
South
DEI is.
Africans to this
Yeah,
country.
I don't even think he know what DEI is. Because DEI, Pete wouldn't be there. The judge on Fox wouldn't be there. Who else?
Champagne Pete.
Man, Bunny wouldn't be there. You talking about DEI? That or DEI hires? It's it
Champagne
just
Pete is what I call him, Mr. Two Bottles himself, because we saw him take that drink up there on that podium. That wasn't water you had in your glass. That was
yeah,
scotch. You had something in there. But
yeah,
back to J Dot making comments, making transphobic comments.
yeah.
That also falls on the scale of white supremacy. You cannot be black, be oppressed, and oppress other marginalized groups of people. It doesn't work that way. So the way to fight oppression and white supremacy is by us uniting together, not attacking your trans sister. That is not the answer. So Misha alluded to that in the interview, and I just wasn't sure if it was him or was it somebody else on the cast. I had to put two and two together. I was like,
And
oh no, not J Dot. And then when we saw the episode, it came out that it was
and
revealed. You
and I mean,
can't
Alex,
do that.
Misha had his back, you know, and she still, I don't know why, she still had his back, which baffles me in one way, maybe because I didn't vocalize how I should have vocalized,
Yeah.
how I don't deal with him, but me and him had dealings, as you heard,
In the
when I
beginning,
first
I
moved.
see, yeah,
I
episode
10 years
2.
ago, okay, and I showed you how he looked. He was not he had no teddy bear. J Dot was a very handsome guy,
He
well
is,
spoken in
yeah.
one way. You know what I'm saying? So he just changed, and I've seen the change happen. You know, for me, I think only change I got a bigger booty, more cheeks in one way, more gray hair. You know, that's a change for me. I don't think the change mentally from where I met him has been better. It has been declined. Just being honest in one way, you
And we
know.
see that in the intervention in episode 2 where you guys
Mm-hmm.
were on, which I love the setup. I love that y'all went to the rooftop, did something different where we would see you in an establishment. Y'all went to the rooftop and y'all tried to have the intervention. And BJ, I think it was Bobby, he said something that stood out as well too. And I remember watching Braxton Family Values where they tried to have an intervention for Tamar and that didn't
Ooh,
pan out well. It's like
yeah,
when you're doing an intervention with someone you don't want them, Bobby said it best, you don't want them to feel ambushed. But everyone means well. Misha meant well. I think she
he
arranged
did.
the whole sit down. And
I just didn't. I ain't gonna lie,
Country
I didn't. I
you did.
this is about, I did because I did not know he was gonna be there. So what happened was that we already had our tiff on Instagram, as you saw.
Yeah.
So then I was still in my rage of Kamala, my girl, you know, my Harris, my the real president. Uh, and when I saw him, I said, "Oh Lord!" And then it was the only seat that was open was me by him. So
And I saw you get up and move from that seat. And Country Boy Q sat there. But and that's when they got into their spat and then they worked it out. They hugged, which was great. And doing an intervention with someone, it can be dangerous. It can go one or two ways. It can work out. The person will feel attacked. In a way, they would be passive aggressive. And that's what we saw with J Dot. But we're seeing more and more come out as this season goes along. And
yeah,
not only just that, but you're getting to know more about the other cast members as well, too. Getting to
which
know a
is
little bit about
amazing.
Misha's story.
Yeah, which is so amazing. The thing, and I think what people didn't understand with Country Boy is I love Country Boy.
He's a
Country
sweetheart.
Boy, he's a sweetheart, and even on our afterlife that we have, people was trying to insert that he had feelings for J9, which
And it
I
was
don't
something
believe.
sexual when it wasn't
Yeah,
that.
when
They
it
were
was that at all,
friends.
and I talked and I said before and after, it's his home. He has the right to say you can't come in there. He paid the bills. I get that he told you at that time, yes, you can come, but again, it's his home. If he said
Right.
don't come to my home, guess what? Don't come to his home. You just have to respect that in one way. And I mean, I never thought they was best friends, and they was good. They were close friends, but there's a lot of things that Country Boy did not know about J Dot that he found out right then and there. So it was more of a shock to him, you know. And
Yeah.
I think that J Dot was probably embarrassed. He was embarrassed because he heard that, but also me, me fussing, and then Misha, you know, it is a lot for one person because they grilled me coming up, you know, and I love it. Grill me. I don't mind having this discussion in one way, but I don't want it to always be about him. And I'm gonna keep on saying that when, like you said, our cast is a great cast. There's so many other stories to be told besides having someone of J Dot standards of a storyline.
But we're
Yeah.
gonna see more because Misha said I got some drama coming up, girl. She told me in our conversation, she said, "Yeah, you're gonna see me stir the pot just a little bit." But
She
other than
has
that,
to.
she's been out of the drama. She hasn't
Yeah.
really been anything.
No, Misha's not in the drum. She's not in drama at all. Even
No.
when we had, either you gonna see me and her have a tiff in one way, but she was not even in that drama in all reality. You know, it made me feel uncomfortable because they're my friends. So a lot of people do acts, and you know, some people may want to chat like, "What, Jimarko? Why did you bring up your sexual history with him?" Because that is what J Dot does. Just like, for example, the first episode with BJ in Taiwan, he said that BJ in Taiwan tried to suck on his pewaka,
I
you
did see
know,
that.
and and I was telling them, I said, if I said didn't say nothing about me and J Dot sleeping together 10 years ago, okay, and all of a sudden J Dot, well, guess what? Me and DeMarco, and they'd be like, DeMarco, why you didn't say nothing? Are you trying to hide it? It's just like I'm just trying to beat him for the punch, trying to take away his power, that he don't hold that over me. There's nothing really to hold over me because he don't know me that way. But that was the only thing that I think that people would say, well, Jamark, you should have said that in the beginning. I said in the beginning, and I'm still getting flack for it, but it's okay. It's all right.
I mean, it's gonna have to come out as long as you tell your truth. You beat the person to tell your
Yeah,
truth of what
yeah,
happened and it comes out first before the other person can say anything and they hold that over your head. I get it
yeah.
now. I get exactly what you're saying, and that's key and crucial. But as far as Country Boy Kiki and J Dot, I don't think it was anything sexual. I think it was two friends, and they haven't spoken in years, and they had a disagreement. This is just my perspective now,
Mm-hmm.
and certain things, as you said, when you had the intervention, it came out and it took Country Boy Kiki by surprise, and I could tell
It
he was
is.
kind of hurt by it. Like I didn't know these things. Why you didn't tell me? If I had a, if, you know, shout outs to my colleague. I mean, you pick on my colleague. Now's the time. If I tell now's the time something, because we have been friends for a long time, and I've known him a long time. If I tell him something and it's out in the open, he was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" He would feel the
Yeah.
same type of way.
Yes.
Friendship, when you are friends with someone for a very long time, you go and you tell them. Don't just catch them off guard with it in a group of
Yeah.
people that's just meeting for the first time. But hey, it has to get out. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that they worked it out in that moment
Yeah.
and fixed it. That's what you got to do to the root of the issue. If you have someone who is a friend, yes, keep it cute in public. Let's talk about it. Let's arrange something. But not only after the intervention did we see them fix that, but they went and they had a discussion in the park and they sat down and talked about it.
Correct.
Like, why didn't you tell me? Friends will feel some type of way if you're not telling them the open and honest truth. So I can
Yeah.
see where Country Boy Kiki is coming from as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think he's like more. Country Boy is the point. Let me know what's going on before anybody else. And you know,
Oh yeah,
even me, you're gonna meet, even him have a little bit of a disagreement in one way, because I had to. How I treat my friends, Miss Stevie, is I want them to do the same thing how I do for them. And I
I'm the
have, and
same
I,
with
but
them.
see, but I have to stop that because how I treat you as a friend, you're not gonna treat me the same way. And that's where my anger lies in one way. Because, like, for example, let's say me and you are best friends, and they say, well, Miss Stevie said, da, da, da. I said, girl, she didn't say that. I know she didn't say that. I know them, and sometimes I wish that my friends back me the same way that I would do them, because you're gonna find out going forward. My frustration was with Misha or my friend Country Boy at times, but I had to recognize that's wrong, and I'll talk about it later in the season that I how you treat me, I'm not gonna treat you the same way, and vice versa. And I gotta respect that. I have to respect that. But the friends that I do, my best friends that I do have, or me, like you said, we treat each other the same way. How you treat me, I got your back. Now, when cut you, I say, no, bitch, you had me. You should have told me that before it happened, but I got your back. I gotta keep on growing. I'm 41, still young. I gotta keep on growing, and knowledge is power. Just like you said, read your books, get educated on stuff. Learn history. I gotta get better. I gotta get better at that, especially my emotions. Yeah,
I love what Nasty Time just said. Don't disrespect our friendship and business relationship, because see, they
yeah,
both do music,
yeah,
and whatever they got going on, pull each other to the side, which is what we've seen in this episode, episode 3. And
yeah.
them sitting down and having a conversation after the intervention and hashing and squashing it. Then there's another situation that happened. Our girl Misha and J Dot got into it. And I'm like, why are you attacking her? In the back of my
And
mind,
she
like,
had his
why are you
back.
attacking her?
She had his back. And I told Misha before, I said, Misha, you're gonna say one thing wrong, and she's gonna go off on you. You can have his back the whole way through, But you say one thing that hurts him or gets underneath his skin, he's gonna attack you. And I was you didn't see me because I left there, and I got the call what happened, and because of what she saw on Grinder and Jack. So, and he just said that that was his business, and he didn't want to bring that to the forefront. But if you the cake man, then I mean, you cake man. Everybody gonna know you the cake man. But Miss Steve, I thought about it this morning. I said, this man think he a hot commodity. He he said that I'm trash. He said that BJ and Taiwan tried to get him back in the car, and then now he said Country Boy was trying to sleep with him too. The only person left is gonna be Misha, which he already dogged it out in Nard. everybody and be everybody want him on the cast. Everybody want him. He the tank. He the John B. The El Jabbar of the cast. Everybody want him. Everybody want to sleep with him. Which I mean, you can look at me. I don't think that you would say he's my style, but yeah, yeah. Everybody want him. He a hot commodity.
And after the altercation happened, he left. We saw him leave. And
Oh yeah.
then we just have to catch up and see what's going to happen on the second part of after the altercation with Misha and J Dot. Like, you're
Everybody
attacking her
make
and
sure
she's
they
defending you.
got to tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. You definitely gonna see characters and conversation in one way. I was working on a podcast, Miss Stevie, and the podcast I was trying to work on um, was individuals in there, but I want to have a psychiatrist there, someone licensed in one way. You always
Yeah,
have that group of friends, and you have that one person that think they're a psychiatrist, but not really one. I really want to have someone there, especially for what I've been through before and the homework that I did. I need someone to say, well, let's go back to what you was talking about. Let's do some homework. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about why you feel that way. So each time on a podcast, I was going to have a woman, a man, gay, straight, whatever, just to say, let's do some homework about how you're feeling in this group or how you're feeling in this conversation about what's going on. It could about trans rights, gay rights, man versus woman, traditional versus new 2000s, relationships. It's gonna be a lot of stuff. But I had to take a pause of it because of pride. And again, being co-chair is marvelous to me. Is a big responsibility, and I think it's taking over my world, which I'm okay with it because the fight we have to fight. We have
got to.
to fight. We have to
My
fight.
colleague. Alvin said that as well too. This is not going to be an easy one. This is going to be a fight. And we're
Yeah,
seeing rights being rolled back, being erased, being stripped. All of these executive orders he's signing.
yeah.
His first 100 days, he's done nothing but pick up a pen and sign away.
Oh,
Executive
oh, oh.
executive orders. Executive orders.
You remember that before he got him? Oh, all they do is executive orders. You do the most. He did the most. You have did the most. And when you pass something, you're not really passing it. You basically, I'm sorry, you're basically threatening them and saying if you don't pass this, I'm gonna talk about you so that my people can kill you.
Oh yeah, and as you said, the MAGA cult, those are
Yeah,
lunatics. As
yeah,
you've mentioned the Jubilee interview, that's what
yes,
we're dealing with, y'all.
yes.
That's
Right
what we're
now,
up against.
even in our, like you said, even in our own community, our own LGBT community, we are dealing with that. And which I am so shocked. I again, the common decency. I remember what made me. I'm a crybaby. I told you is when Biden was talking to a kid that was, I think it was at a church, and I think it was a shooting that happened, and so the
Yeah.
kid had this little disability, and Biden came and hugged him and said, "It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay." Because I think his brother got killed in a school shooting, which I don't know why we still haven't fixed that problem. But
Common
anyway,
sense
you
reform.
know,
That's all I'm gonna say
yeah.
on that.
Yeah, and I think that is what I miss in one way. I'm not saying that President Harris, this should have been president, uh, is perfect. I'm not saying Obama is perfect. I'm not saying Bill Clinton was perfect. I'm not saying George Bush was perfect, but they had decency. And with this president, I don't see none. He talks about women especially black women, like call them names, anytime
Nasty
press them on.
prophet. What did he say?
Yeah,
He always goes on the IQ, but we know
yes,
that your
yes.
pape funded your way to get into college as well too. We know that your pape got your doctor, the family doctor, to write you a doctor's note, draft dollars
She's
that you would be able
correct.
to go into the service and serve. So that's why he attacks veterans. He attacked Harvard University. He attacks Stephen Colbert. And he attacks anybody who's in opposition to him. Just recently, he attacked Jessica Tarlov on the Five on Fox News because
Yeah,
she's the only reasonable one on that panel that said common sense gun reform. That's what
yes,
these mass shootings are happening because Republicans thinking that, oh, what did they say? The Democrats are coming to take your guns.
guns
No,
away.
that's
Who
not
said it?
them.
it we
Republicans
just need
said that.
stricter laws. Everybody just can't get a gun. You keep on saying it's the person. No, everybody just can't get. If if it's a gun and keep on shooting people, Mo would just basically fix the gun law. Like if you keep on saying the person keep on getting the gun, the main thing that's killing the person is the gun. This person is not Matrix. The person is not that can climb walls and shoot in the rain. It's the gun. It's the bullet that's killing these people. But until it hit home, that's the only time they're gonna fix it. Until your house is crumbling, that's when you're gonna start trying to fix it.
And some of these MAGA supporters are starting to see their house crumble. We're starting
Yes,
to see the internal war within. They are upset and pissed that these files are not out here and that he is not keeping his promise of what he bargained them, which would have been lower egg prices, which would have been lower gas prices. All of these things
correct.
that he ran his campaign on, they're not keeping their promises.
I I baffle why you are so concerned about the fouls, but you're not concerned about Gaza, people starving, uh, uh, lower gas prices, better health care. Hey, country boy, we just talked about you. Housing for homeless, building better roads in one way. Better health care for veterans. You worry about fouls. That's not going to put nothing in your pocket, not going to help you, nothing for your health or your mind. Well, let's talk about if the education's so bad, let's put the money into the education. Let's give people raises. My mom was an English teacher. That's why I have better English. I got to slow down. My auntie always say, but give teachers raises. My mom was using the money out of her own pocket to buy notebooks and pens in Florida. My mom was trying to educate them on literature, like you said, and she lived in the Panhandle. By my my mom was Matt Gates' teacher because she was in Niceville. She was in Niceville, and she had to go to Fort Walton to teach then because she was a substitute.
Oh,
And that they got upset because she was trying to give them books to read that talked about blackness in one way, talked about race. The moms come out, oh, my kid ain't going such and such, and then y'all said, nah, don't, mama, don't let him
don't
come up
tell
there
me.
now.
Moms for Liberty, right? Moms for Liberty, the ones who are out here,
Yes.
they don't want firing people and getting on people because they don't want them to learn about African Americans. They don't want them to learn about LGBT people. They don't want them to learn about historical women. They would rather them learn about the Confederacy. They
Come
would
on now.
rather them learn about people like what's his name? What's his name? I cannot remember his name. Oh, and they wanted to name a military base after
Oh
him.
my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is his name? I just saw something. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. What is that person's name?
General
Is
E.
it
Lee. You would
illegal?
prefer them to learn
Yeah.
about
Yes.
General E.
Yes.
Lee than to
Yes.
learn about Marcus Garvey, than to learn about people like Frederick Douglass, than to
Yeah.
learn about people like Harriet Tubman, who were the real revolutionaries and
Yeah.
fighters for
Yeah.
freedom. The Haitian Revolution, which reminds me, did y'all see that video of ICE in Brooklyn trying to go? You saw that flag and y'all
I
thought
did.
that that was going to try to
I said,
deport
uh-uh.
all of them beautiful Haitian people out of their community.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When you see that red, black, and green, you in trouble.
Yeah.
And that
They would.
yellow,
Oh,
you in trouble.
is I I am still married. My husband is actually from Guatemala. So um, luckily, the first term we got his citizenship, and he's just fine. But when talking to the people that he's around and work around, they're nervous. People, I live in Douglasville now. I bought a house in Douglasville. They're nervous. They're scared. They don't know what to do or how to do it because even when they go to the courthouse to make sure that they're doing it legally, they're still getting arrested,
They grab
which
them
is
up in the
which is which is
courthouse.
crazy, which is
I
crazy.
think there should be a way that people can do their hearings, and it should be virtually. I think it should be virtually to
Hmm.
have to avoid all of the madness, avoid all the foolishness, because you got people from my city like Nancy Mace saying she enjoys watching videos of
Hmm.
immigrants being swept up at their hearings, coming out. They could have gotten their citizenship and they still don't care. If you are a brown person or a black person in this country, you will be detained, you will be held
Yeah.
in a facility, and we're seeing the conditions of people who are in these facilities. That's why I
Yeah.
said abolish ICE. We don't need them. We don't need them. And now you got local law enforcement working with them. Our people, black people who are cooperating and working with them. And it makes me sad. It makes me sick to my stomach to see
Yeah.
our people take these jobs. You didn't have to do this.
Do, and I remember it was on the View, and I think who said it? I think Raven said it, and when it was all the Osborne daughters, and she got the flack for it in one way, but it is true in one way, and I know for it's true is by being married, my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, the jobs that they take because they can't get the citizenship as they want to do. They have to work those odd jobs. And those odd jobs sometimes is cleaning, sometimes is mowing the lawn, picking strawberries, picking oranges in one way, cutting trees, because
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna cut no grass, okay? But I'm not saying that I won't do it, but I just choose not to. They don't have a choice. They need the resources to give back to Mexico, Guatemala, Colombia, Venezuela. They need the resources to make sure, like, It was a documentary, I think a dollar a day, and the dollar a day was talking about how the people in Guatemala was eating a dollar a day. Now the money, the dollar a day in America, it does stretch in Guatemala, but that's not a lot. You know, it's not a lot. And we had to send money to my mother-in-law for diabetes medicine, buy her new washer, make sure my niece and nephew have clothes in one way for school, it's hard, and that's what the people are doing here in America with those odd jobs is giving back to their family, so it does make me sick. And everywhere I go, it's that orange man that's making it harder for us.
It's Project 2025. A lot of people didn't believe that it was going to happen. We're seeing it happen right in real time.
In real time.
Now, the homeless population, a lot of people who don't have homes, you want to institutionalize them, you want to arrest them. Where are they going to
Yeah,
go? You want to place them in a prison. They're already down on their luck, and you want to go and place them in a prison.
yeah, yeah.
See, Hitler did the same thing, and I did a post on that, and I don't know if anybody seen that post. But let me pull that post up because I did
Yeah.
the photos and everything. See, it goes all the way back to Germany. Anybody who is an opposition like myself, anybody, they will be labeled as what did he label them and say on his campaign trail? He called us what? The enemy within.
And
They're
oh my
poisoning the
God, yeah.
blood. So let me pull that post up right there of me saying, hey, this is going to happen if right here, I got it. Boom. Yes, in 1938, Hitler launched I can't pronounce it, the Reich, a program targeting individuals labeled as work shy or asocial. Now, over 10,000 men and several hundred women, ranging from unemployed, beggars, vagrants, to those prosecuted as Roma and Jews, were rounded up. What are we seeing Donald Trump do right now? And
The
that is
same exact
round
thing.
up black and brown people.
The
These were
same exact thing.
concentration camps. They were sent to concentration camps where they were marked with black triangles as antisocial elements. Trump just signed an executive order titled Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets. So, as Taraji P. Henson so beautifully put it at the BET Awards, it is now a crime to be homeless.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It is. It is. And I know that it's not going to be. It's not easy to fix it, but we can fix it. Just not saying, just being, I'm American. Americans do everything. Just being a person, we can fix it. There's other countries has fixed certain things. Gun laws. When you go to Switzerland, there's no guns. They fix the gun laws. They fix people mass shootings in one way. Um, I I won't say that being America they're so selfish, but they don't care about. I don't say they don't care about each other. They care about their own at times, and that's what the MAGA cult is only caring about their own. And again, we'll go back. There's no compassion. There's no compassion at all. I get upset because now everything is wireless in one way. So when I see a homeless person, I have no ones. I'm like, golly, no ones, because everything's cashless now. Besides Walmart with Apple Pay, but still, it's just, I feel bad because I can't give them because it could have been me on that road. It could be my mom. It could be my cousin, my sister on that side of the road asking for help. Now I'm not saying everybody is homeless. You do have those ones that's lying about it, but majority are, and I do feel bad when I don't have that. There's no compassion. The MAGA cult has no compassion, and some Democrats also don't have no compassion.
Oh,
We
like the
need more
Richie
compassion and
Torres
love.
of the world, like the ones who are founded by APAC. He was
Mm-hmm.
asked about the children starving in Gaza.
Gaza,
And he says,
yes,
well,
yes,
I got a good, someone walked up to him while he was in line, I think at the cafeteria, in one of the buildings where they're at, and asked him, how much is your salary being paid for by APAC. Some of these establishment Dems are being paid,
Yes.
and me and my colleague Now's the Time, who's still here, touched on this. They're being funded and paid for by APAC. So this is
Yes.
what Laverne Cox was saying when she said there's a lot of lobbyists. You got APAC, some of them that are being
Yes.
paid by the big dollar and corporate cooperations like Walmart, like Target. Um, and I'm not too pressed about him going after Oprah because Oprah attended Jeff Bezos' wedding. Jeff Bezos
Wedding.
was
Yep.
sitting right there in that box with Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. It was a box full of oligarchs at his inauguration. These are people who helped to pay get him in office. You can
Miss
literally
Stevie,
buy a president.
I have a question. So some of the people I saw this video. It was just real. It was a short film on YouTube, and it was saying that the majority of the people that are Black Republicans are the ones with the money, and their focus on is just having more money. Do you think that's true?
As far as Candace Owens, at the rate she's going, she ain't gonna have no money. But look, keep talking, girl. Keep talking because that the Queen of France, she not playing
Okay,
with you. Make sure she
ain't
gets
playing
all of her coin, every
because
last bit of it. So keep
because
talking.
it was another person. I gotta go. It was on Instagram, and it was a guy that is a I think a manager of a Black Christian group, and he's a Trump supporter. I forgot what Christian group that is. I'm Catholic, so I'm trying to get used to the other music. I went to a Black church one day. I know I went to a culture church. I said, "Oh wow, okay, this is different." But I saw it multiple times that people that are in that leadership or in that CEO phase, they did vote for Trump because they want to keep their money. And I just didn't understand.
About the
Right.
dollar for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't understand that. But more and more I saw it and I saw that article, I was like, these people really are around that is don't like Trump, but they say, well, his tax breaks are helping me keep money, so I'm gonna vote for him. A
My
Roman
God.
Catholic, okay. Have my
They're
rosaries in
doing
my
that for
car.
survival. They're voting for him. I don't like him and his policies, and
Yeah.
that's what we're seeing some of them do. I don't like him and his policies, but I had no choice. You'll get a
Yeah.
tax break at the end of the day while the
Yeah.
working class is suffering. So you're a part of that 1%. No,
Right.
only a few have money. The blacks that voted for Trump are Democrats, but white adjacent wannabes. Yes, there are some like Richie Torres. That's an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
There are some out here who are centrist, like Hakeem Jeffries, for example. So we can call it out across the spectrum. If you are capitulating and bending the knee, Cory Booker, you're voting to put Jared Kushner in office, his daddy in office. We
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be doing that. You do not
No,
bend
no.
the knee to fascism. You do not capitulate. Let Trump
You,
come after you.
Missy, you said something a while back. You said, and I don't understand how they put this together as a good business person. Like you said, this man has ruined all his businesses. Okay, and they keep on saying, well, he's a great businessman. Where is he a good
Fix
businessman?
failed businesses.
Like where? I, I mean,
The blind
I'm
leading
trying to
the
figure
blind, my
out.
love. The blind leading the blind. And
Yeah.
where's his business strategy? And his favorite number is 2 weeks, 2 weeks tops. We're gonna pause
Yeah,
the
yeah, oh
tariffs
yeah,
for 90 days. We're gonna pause it for
yeah,
90 days. And then he gonna go back and raise the prices back up. And then again, it's another trade war between China and the United States,
yeah.
and then China and the United States, and things are gonna go up, up, up,
Up and
up,
up
up.
and up. And it's so funny. Oh, and so when they talk about the terrorists, they say, well, Jimarko, the terrorists are not in. You know that, right? Like he's just basically baiting you to think that it's in, but it's not actually in yet. Now he does have that 15-25%, but you have to remember there's other tariffs a part of that he said he's going to implement in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So you think this is good right now? It's about to get worse. It's literally about to get worse. I just I just gotta keep on praying and believing that my auntie Vance just believe that there's a higher power because after him God's always gonna be there. Before him, God's gonna be there. You know,
Yeah,
I
that's a
gotta.
king. He's
Yeah,
not a king. He's a wannabe
yeah.
king. He didn't get the parade he wanted, even though he used $145 million of our tax-paying dollars to get this Kim Jong Un style
Um,
parade, and he didn't get it.
that destroyed the streets that now they have to repave.
That'll come out of our hard-earned tax-paying
No
dollars. The
money.
goal is to drain the United States, one of the richest countries in the world, of everything from the inside out. And that's what he's doing. All of these tax breaks. You got to pay
Yes.
back these people who helped you get in office in the
Yes.
presidency. Obviously, Elon Musk won't be getting his payback because y'all two fell out. So let's see what happens now.
What Elon said he's gonna have his own party, so we're gonna see how that goes. Lord, Lord, Lord. But hey, you know what? Having a conversation with you has made me be okay. That I know there's other people that is have the same mindset in me, drive and passion and capacity I'm sorry, compassion to help others and have this conversation. So I hope people are sharing this so you can see how two people from different countries, not different, like I said, countries, different states feel, and how we can help each other out.
We got to. And it's like ourselves that are on the front line. If not myself, then T.S. Madison. If not T.S. Madison, then Hope Giselle, as far as being in the LGBTQ plus community, and so many others who are using their voices. Uh, who's another person that I would say that has been out here actively involved? Oh, Jesus. Conscious Lee, if you guys follow
Oh yeah,
Conscious Lee. Conscious Lee is one. Um,
yeah.
Ashley the Baroness on TikTok. She does a lot of TikTok videos.
Okay.
And there's so many others out here that are black that are using their platforms. I think T.S. Madison and Craig are doing a brilliant job, but they do it
Yeah.
as political satire. But their
Yes.
message still gets across. You have comedy and you have fun. My colleague Conscious TV is doing the same thing. My colleague Bubs the God is doing the same thing. So you have to be willing to have these conversations, but keep people engaged. And I think politics should be boring. A lot of people want it to be entertaining. That's why I think half of people voted for him. Millions of people voted for him because they wanted
Because he's a
something that they
comedian.
didn't want to be boring. But no, these are our lives. I get it
Yes.
that you want fun, but these are our lives that you're playing with. You can't
Yes.
do that. You're not only playing with other people's lives, but your lives as well too, because not only are our lives in danger, but your family members' lives are in danger. We're going to lose our health care in 2026.
Yeah. And my
It's
thing
this
is,
big bill that just passed.
the rights are being taken away so quickly. It, in all reality, if the Democrats want to be the same way that they're doing it, they'll be in an uproar. There'll be an uproar. If another Democrat president come and say, you know what, I'm gonna treat you how he treated everybody else in here, immigrant, not immigrant, like you said, homeless, not homeless, I'm gonna treat you the same way. They will lose their mind. They would not know what to do. But what they're
And that's
doing is
what
saying
Gavin
it's okay.
Newsom is doing. He's fighting
Yeah,
fire with fire.
with fire.
You have
Yes.
to. You
You want
cannot
to do
play
five
nice with
counties?
that.
Guess what? I'm gonna do it too. Yeah, yeah. You want to do 5 seats? I'm gonna do 5 seats. I'm gonna do 7. Just being in Georgia is a. I always say my slogan for that everybody always say at my meetings is that I know that we are a red state in Georgia, but our city of Atlanta is a rainbow city, which is I'm okay with it, but I wish that we're able to be rainbow to the whole Georgia. I went to Rome, Georgia for their pride. And Rome, Georgia is where Marjorie Taylor Greene is from. I didn't put two and two
The
together at
beach
all.
blonde, bad built, butch body, all she
Yes,
was.
yes, yes. And they had amazing pride. People out there having conversations, talking, networking in one way. And I literally for a couple hours I forgot about Marjorie Taylor Greene. And they had polices everywhere. They said before I got there was more because a lot of people said that Marjorie Taylor Greene was getting a lot of people to protest. And by the Lord's willing, there was no protest at all. None at all. So something's happening, and just us going to Rome, Georgia. I feel that there's a little bit of seeing a black person or seeing someone as a drag queen or seeing a trans woman or a trans man that is like, wow, I can be comfortable with them being here, and with not having protests at Rome, Georgia was a great thing. It was a really great thing, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we have to keep continuing to have these conversations and bring
Yeah.
awareness. And
Yeah.
that's what you're doing as co-chair.
I I just have to make sure that I want to make sure I'm having a conversation even with people that I disagree with in, but I don't want to get like the jubilee. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get disrespectful. You know, I think that's where it's gonna. I gotta stay strong at it and still fight, 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 and and educate them more and more. But sometimes my grandma said you can't educate a dumb person. You can't talk to a dumb person.
Can't.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King said it best. There is nothing more dangerous than conscientious stupidity and ignorance. You cannot have a conversation with that. And
Yeah.
I choose not to. Now, my
Yeah.
colleague, but God will be able to be objective and he will have a conversation with him and sit with him. He had Ron Vugada, which is, he is in a way a black conservative. He's a black
Mm-hmm,
conservative.
mm-hmm,
And he's had Ron Vugada on his platform. And I remember him having a conversation with him. I'm like, Bubs, he's not getting it. And the conversation was on trans people. And
mm-hmm.
Bubs literally having to educate him. And Bubs, I remember Bubs asking me, how do you think I did, Queen? I said, I think you did outstanding. You did. You filled in the spaces, even if I was there and I was on the panel and having a discussion, I would have been fact checking him in real time
Yes.
as a
Yeah.
trans person. So I remember him coming back and asking me, how do you think I did, Queen? And I said, I think you did outstanding. So I agree. You have to have conversations with people from the other side. I just won't be having no conversations with no MAGA newscasters. If they are former and no longer with Donald Trump, I'm like, okay, yeah. Now I'll sit
Yeah.
down and have a conversation with you. If they're revealing things to me, what we can do. That's what Kamala was doing with Liz Cheney. But
Yes.
people tore her up for that.
For that, it goes back to why me and J Dot had the falling out, and maybe we can have a conversation at a reunion in one way, but I just cannot have someone to demean a woman. I don't care if they're trans or non-trans, demean a woman in that certain way and not respect their heritage. You know, it was a movie. I forgot the movie name. Oh my gosh! And she basically, it was a true story. She wrote about race, but what she did was she went to outside of United States to talk about race and understand it. And it was a conversation that she had with a Jewish person, and the Jewish person said, well, my people, it was a such and such people died in the Holocaust. And she stayed quiet and she respect that. She said, she came back, she said, you know the difference between me and you have a number. I don't have a number. I don't know how many slaves from Africa that died on the boat. You have a number. I don't have a number. So what I got from that is that she respect where she was coming from, but she also made sure she understood, you have an understanding, I have an understanding, but my understanding is a little bit different than yours because you have something, you have a a book or a repertoire or something to go back on. For us coming from Africa to America, even coming from Africa to Jamaica, or or even Haiti in one way, Colombia, uh, we don't have a number of how many people have been stolen, drowned, threw off a boat just because the boat was weighing down. We don't have those numbers at all. Or even in that movie that I saw, she went to India. And with India, she said, I accept racism. Racism does happen, but also capitalism happened. And what she was meaning by that is that these people are in the same country, this person in the same country in the same skin color. But because a person stays at a certain place and another person stays there, these people have to clean their shit for the people that lives in a certain area. These people are the same color, same country, but because of where that person's from, they have to demean themselves by cleaning shit for another person that is the same as them. And I think that's what I'm trying to grow as a person and say, I want to understand everything so I can get my opinion about it. Because if I don't know it, then I can't give my opinion. And I wish sometimes J Dot would take a step back and try to realize what you are seeing as a trans woman and how he is feeling. Do you feel intimidated? If you feel intimidated, just say it. Do you want to be trans? Do you want to be feminine? What is the problem with a trans woman that you have a problem with?
Right. Unpack
It baffles.
whatever it is going on the inside, whatever it
Yeah,
is. Because
yeah,
the transphobia is dangerous not only to one trans woman, but it's a slap in the face to all of us
yes,
as trans
yeah,
women. And it
yeah,
puts us in even more grave danger than we already are. Like I said, with Texas. And T.S. Madison, she talked about this. She said it's almost a crime to be trans in
yeah,
Texas. Like they will criminally prosecute you for that. This is not a game.
yeah. It's not.
So
It's not. You're
I, I
playing with our
even
lives,
with
playing with everybody's life. Because you don't understand. And I would go back to my mom, Stasha. My mom, my my mom is a straight, as a cis woman. She couldn't educate me on gay lifestyle. Like Stasha did. Sit me down and really talk to me about certain things that I could not go to my mom about. So that's why I call her that's why she is my mom, and I'm always gonna respect her as my mom and as a woman because she gave me a life lessons that I could never ever get back from anybody else. You know, I
absolutely.
wish that other people felt the same way that I felt or feel.
And they do. It's going to take some a long time to unlearn what they've been taught. And I told Misha that when I asked Misha how she was feeling in the beginning of our conversation, she said scared. And I said, I got you. I'm here to
Yeah,
hold your hand every step of the way. I got you. You're going to be all right. And we're going to get through this. I know a
yeah,
lot of people are in times of uncertainty, expect the unexpected, but we already knew what was coming. Black people, we already knew what he was going to do when he got in office. And
yeah.
that's everything because he is not a man who keeps his promise. One day he will say one thing and then walk back on it. Donald Trump is what I like to call a malignant narcissist,
Ooh,
a self-admitted liar. He is extremely dangerous. And I know a lot of people are like, are we ever going to get out of this? I don't see that happening no time soon. Because pay attention. You don't see a whole lot of the other president. If y'all seeing that, you haven't really been seeing a whole lot of the other president. Every now and again, what do you think that they're doing with JD Vance? They are prepping him to be next up in line as
yeah,
president of the United States of America.
yeah,
And he's gearing up for his 2028 presidential run. I can promise you that. So don't come back and say, I didn't warn you or told you
yeah,
so. It's happening. We
yeah,
just don't see it. They're waiting on him. His ankles were a clear indication that something is going on.
yeah.
So
Well,
they
what's
waiting
the
on that so that they can crown JD Vance next as president.
yes,
And he's much
yeah.
more nefarious than Donald Trump.
What was it? He's in great shape. What didn't the doctor say? He's in great shape.
200 pounds, 6 foot, athletic built.
Where they only eat Diet Coke and McDonald's. Really?
And in his first term, that's what he did. He invited the whole basketball team there with lots of the whole White House was McDonald's. Great condition. All right, great conditioning
Right.
too.
Okay. Right. Okay. It was. Now this was the conversation I needed for today.
Yes. So before we let you go, Jimarko, because I'm gonna bring you
Yeah.
back on. We had such a great time. What would you tell people in these dark times in our community, in the LGBTQ plus community, on what they can do to get involved? Like you are co-chair for Pride. That is a
Yeah.
big, huge achievement.
I
What
appreciate. I
advice would
appreciate.
you
It.
tell people in our community as far as getting involved and not sitting idly by?
First thing I would say you need to open your eyes. And when I say open your eyes, is that when someone is telling you exactly what's going on, you need to understand that is true. Project 25 is true. You need to open your eyes, open your ears, and get yourself involved in the community. If anybody want to get involved with Atlanta Pride, you can go atlantapride.com and you can volunteer. Uh, And then we also have newsletters in there talking about things happening in the Supreme Court. But you do also need to get involved with your community. If it's local, if it's non-local, going outside of that community, that so you can feel safe, because a lot of people that I did talk to does not feel safe in certain areas. So it's okay for
Yeah,
you to go to a different area for you to feel safe and get that protection. Just like you were saying with Misha, you said, Misha, how you feel? She said scared. You said, I got you. There's other people in other states that can give you the resources that you may need, or the education purposes for you to reach out to others. Um, that's the first step. The first step for me is that, and the last step, which is the big important thing, is to believe in yourself, believe in your community. If I wanted to listen to this orange man talk about people 24/7 and give up hope sometimes, I would not be with Atlanta Pride. But because of the community, people that I can outreach to, okay, and I believe in what my journey is and what I'm fighting for, that is what's making me strive to become a co-chair, and also to be bigger than a co-chair, to probably produce my own pride, or do something else bigger and better for Atlanta that probably needed. I'm not saying Atlanta Pride is my stopping point. I'm just saying this is my chapter point of my life.
absolutely. And I will close the show to add on to what Jimarko just said. It's a quote from Theodore Roosevelt. And he says, the man of great wealth owes a peculiar obligation to the state because he derives special advantages from the mere existence of government. And that means that this fight does not stop here. We will continue on. It means that every branch of government has been purged by Donald
Yeah.
Trump and white supremacists.
Yes.
And that means if we want the government to work for us, we have to be those guardrails, because there are no guardrails there. And that means that we are going to have to educate ourselves. We're going
Yeah.
to have to fortify. We are going to have to form community. We are going to have to organize. We are going to have to magnify. Make sure that you are reading over everything. And if you want to find out what news sources are reliable, go to Ground News and they'll tell you which news source are reliable. Because now Donald Trump has corporate media in his back pocket. Did
Back
y'all
pocket.
see how they are letting go of journalists,
Yeah.
anchor people who anchor the weather? We no longer have a National Weather Service really to tell us when
Yes.
and how the magnitude of a storm is coming, a tsunami,
He
West
just
Coast.
he did not FEMA to, what was that state, with the black governor, very handsome guy. Oh gosh, I just saw it. He
Westmore,
just did not.
Governor
Yeah,
Westmore in
yeah,
Baltimore,
yeah.
and
He
he
just
sued
denied
him for
FEMA.
that, rightfully
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Josh Shapiro's another one who sued him as well too. Governor Josh Shapiro, he's been had it out for him.
yeah,
So if you want the government to work for you and work for us, the people, to make them
yes,
listen to us, we got to be the fighters. We got to be those guardrails. And as John Lewis would say, we got to be the good kind of trouble. So that means you got to cause
yes,
disruptions. Be able to put your body on the line. And for anybody who is former MAGA, any white Donald Trump voters who have had enough, my advice to you, because I'm not sitting and talking with you at all, I'm going to tell you this. Put your body on the line. Put
yeah,
your body on the line if you're tired and you're fed up. Because
yeah.
black people, we're not doing it. We've been shields for white supremacy for
Say it
far too
again.
long. We ain't doing it. Our
We,
resistance is rest. And to
yeah,
anybody saying, black people, are y'all tired of resting? No, we're not tired of resting. We're tired of
yeah.
fighting white
Fight it.
supremacy. We'll
Come on
get
now.
tired when white supremacy is over.
Yeah, we got to. We got. They have to do better. And I believe with this conversation that we have, people can understand where our fear, but where our fight is at also too. You know, we're not trying to bash you if you did vote for him. We're just try to for you to be educated on why we feel a certain way, or why we're scared, or why we're fighting this fight. And it's only because everybody has an opportunity to live. And at this time and point, our trans sister, our trans men are not having the right to live how they want to be lived.
Yeah, entire community is in danger. And use your voice, use your platform, speak out. So
Yes.
that's all I have to say. Real Life ATL Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Make sure
Aid.
you guys head on over and subscribe to Real Life Reality ATL. And Jimarko, let everyone know where they can follow you and check you out, my love, because I want to bring you back on the show. Country Boy
Yes.
Q will be joining me next month
Yes.
again on the show. So
I cannot wait. Again, you can reach me on Instagram of Jimarko Duhart, also on Facebook, Jimarko Duhart, and then also on X, Jimarko Duhart. Again, if you want to be a part of Atlanta Pride, which is October 11th and 12th as a volunteer, you can go to atlantapride.com and you can, it's an easy grab. It only takes you 2 minutes to sign up and you will be a part of Atlanta Pride. Even Miss Stevie, if you want to come about, if you're in town, I will give you some VIP tickets so you can be in a little lounge area with the AC and then enjoy some Pride.
I would love that. Thank you so much, my love. Real Life
Yes, ma'am.
ATL, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. And make sure that you guys are following Jamarco Atlanta Pride. Go on over and check it out for more information. Atlanta Pride, hit up Jamarco. And
Thank
joining me
you.
tomorrow, closing out the month of July, we have Kellen Marcus. And you are so welcome, my love. I would love to bring you back.
No, I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna tune in tomorrow when I'm going to tennis. So I'll be listening.
All right, Fashion Dolls, and this interview will be uploaded to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube, and the replay will be up. And Savanya McIntosh, shout outs to my girl, Savvy ET Corner just dropped some clips, so I'm gonna post those. I just seen that I was tagged in them, so I'm gonna post those from Sunday's interview that I did with her, which was so much fun. So make sure you head on over to Savvy ET Corner and check it out. I love you all, Fashion Dolls, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Mwah. Take care, my love.
Bye, love.